Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for checking out The Secrets of Skateboarding. In this episode, I'm going to be talking with you about the importance of learning how to fall. So, one of the first things you're going to notice as soon as you start skating is that when you fall, it hurts. And if you don't know how to fall, you're not going to keep skating very long. So I want to give you guys some tips to learn how to fall and some different techniques that you can practice to make sure that when you do fall, you don't get injured as seriously. A lot of these techniques that I'm going to be talking about are mainly aimed at helping beginners learn how to fall, but I'm sure there's something in here that even the most experienced skater can use. A lot of this stuff is meant to help you learn to fall to not get injured. When you first start skating, you don't really realize that you're going to be falling so much, but you definitely do. You fall a lot, and the better you want to get at skating, the more falling you're going to have to go through. A lot of people don't also realize that the best skaters actually might be better at falling than they are at skating. If you're trying really hard stuff all the time and really trying to push your boundaries, you're gonna fall a lot. But once you learn how to fall, you never get hurt. You can learn how to fall so that you never get injured. A lot of the times when you fall from skating, it's because you go from a moving position to a stop position. Whether it's you're trying to trick and you mess up, you hit a crack, you hit a pebble, you land primo, whatever it is. It's because you're moving and then you stopped abruptly. So your body has to figure out what to do when it starts to stop. You can either try to run out of it, roll out of it, or just take a real nasty slam and scorpion and kick yourself in the back of the head. Another really important thing you should practice when you're skating, especially when you're first starting, is just stand on your board with both feet like this and just kind of jump off. Just so that you know how to do it and can just do it on call whenever you need to. If you need to and you're scared, there's grass right here. You could just cruise next to it and then just jump in the grass. But learning how to dismount when you really need to is something that every skateboarder should practice. So otherwise you're just gonna be cruising and you're not gonna know how to fall and you're gonna eat crap bad. Practice these little things here and there and it will really help you out in the future. So a really easy technique that I'm going to show you and that a lot of people should probably do if you're just starting to skate especially is there's this grass right here. It's really cushioned and I'm going to show you how you can just kind of run into the grass and either step off your board and run or you can roll out of it. So I'm going to demonstrate both and then talk to you about what or how it's going to help you in the future. So for a more advanced skater, like this stuff definitely, you know, you're probably not going to need to practice it, but if you're just learning how to skate, just rolling around is pretty dangerous. So practicing this will help you learn how to fall and avoid injury really easily. A big thing to realize when you start skating is to realize that if you've had any experience in previous sports such as football, soccer, basketball, then you're probably going to have a lot more luck at learning how to fall or how to handle yourself when you do fall. If you come from not playing any sports and you're not a very athletic person, you really should practice this stuff. If you played a lot of football or rough house, you know, or just being a kid and like to jump off stuff and just kind of play, this stuff, I know, it'll probably come really naturally to you, but just going from a rolling position to a stop position, it can throw off your balance quite a bit, so practicing this will actually help you figure out how to fall easier. One of the biggest secrets in learning how to fall while you're skating is to learn how to roll out of your bails. So I'm gonna demonstrate how to roll out of it. I'm gonna shoot it from a bunch of different angles and talk to you about what to do when it starts to happen. So no matter what, when you fall, you never wanna land with your arm fully straight, ever. When you land like that, that's when you break a wrist, you could break your elbow, break your arm, or pop your shoulder out. So whenever you're gonna fall and you know you're gonna fall, always try and keep your wrist a little bent, your elbow a little bent, your shoulder a little bent. When you fall straight like that, that's when bad stuff happens and you end up in the ER. So when you fall, try and keep your arm bent just a little bit so that when you land, it's kind of like a springy type effect so that you're able to do something with it. When it's stiff, it's just gonna, all your pressure is gonna go right there and you're gonna break something. So when you're gonna fall and you know you're gonna fall, either trying to break the fall, say if you're going like this, to get your foot down just for a second, but you're still gonna go because your momentum's gonna carry you. You break with your hand and try not to land with your arm straight, just like I was saying. And then after that, you're still gonna go, so you just kind of roll over. And once you get to this point, you can either stay here or your momentum can keep carrying you and you can end up over here. Another really important point of learning to fall is trying not to panic, because when your body panics, you tighten up, everything like freezes. And that's why practicing falling can actually save you like getting injured a lot. And for me personally, I tend to, when I start to get back into skating, I tend to practice it quite a bit, just because I know that if I don't practice it, when I do fall, I'm gonna stiffen up and put everything out and like, oh no, what's happening? My body needs to relearn how to do it again. When it happens a lot, your muscle memory kicks in and you just kind of do it. Like, you don't even gotta think about it, it just happens. And it's awesome when your instincts can take over like that. But getting them to program themselves like that can take a lot of time. Another really useful tip that you'll start to feel happening naturally is that when you're starting to fall, you can feel your core tighten up, like your stomach muscles, your back muscles, and that will slow the fall down quite a bit and help you not get injured. So a big thing is that when you're starting to fall, everything starts to kind of like tighten up a tiny bit, but not so you're like freaking out tight. You just tighten up a little bit so that it slows the fall down. Otherwise, if you're super loose, you'll just like wham, smash your head and everything. So when everything starts to tighten up a little, that's good, because then you can kind of slow the fall down, put your arm down, and roll out of it pretty naturally. Whenever you're gonna fall backwards, like say if you're gonna do a back 180, you do a back 180 and you just land, and you're gonna fall back and you know it, you're of course gonna wanna put your arms out, but you don't always have to. If you can tighten your core and your stomach, you'll fall and you'll just kind of roll. But the thing is that when you start to fall, you need to tuck in and tighten your stomach, because if you don't, you're gonna hit the back of your head, and it's a really horrible lesson to learn, but I did that a couple times and it really helped me figure out that tightening your core and kind of tucking yourself into a ball really helps a lot. You know, that is kind of like a big thing actually, now that I think about it. Whenever I tend to fall, I kind of like tighten everything up. Like my stomach really tightens up, my back tightens up, and I've kind of start to go into like a ball type formation. So even with my roll, it's definitely a ball type formation where I'm like kind of crouching down and kind of like getting into a ball type position, because your shoulders, your back, your hips, everything can take a bail really easily, your butt, and you won't really get too bruised up. It's when you put your hands and your arms out where these can break pretty easily. So these are mainly meant to kind of like guide your fall, but not take the blunt force of your fall. It's kind of meant to like break it, and then everything else takes it. So everyone's roll is slightly different. So if you end up falling and it feels right to you and you don't get hurt, go with it. But it's just about practice and letting your body get used to it happening and not panicking. When you panic, that's always when something bad happens. Always be mindful of how dangerous skating is, and just have the respect for each trick and each obstacle you're skating, and you should be okay. All right, guys, well, that pretty much does it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel, NK Vids, and Braille Skateboarding also. Also, if you like the video, please like the video, leave a comment, or share it with your friends. And if you have any questions at all, please ask in the comments. And stay tuned, I'm gonna have a lot more content like this coming soon, and I hope you guys learned something. Peace.